Reflections on the processes of working with intercultural competence. As I see it, the essential part of teaching language to students is the part of teaching them intercultural competence. Learning intercultural competence is a way of learning different ways of perceiving the world. We as teachers have to teach the students how to interact with other cultures. People from European countries are more likely to travel and meet other cultures, whereas, for instance, Americans mostly travel inside their own country and culture. Not being able to construct sentences properly or speak with grammatical errors is less likely to offend people around the world than if we make cultural errors. This will most likely offend people. This can be for us simple things as wearing the wrong clothes to a mosque, not giving presents to business partners in China at meetings, not giving a tip to a bellhop in the US, using the wrong hand signal to a waiter in Greece, and so forth. The tasks in the workshop are all relevant for teaching intercultural competence. The first task, translating the text from the native language to target language and vice versa, will get the students to think about cultural differences through text. It also enables them to remember what they have learned. The second task, working with the movie East is East, I think is easier to work with in 8th grade. It describes arranged marriage and how a culture within another culture has its difficulties, like the first task, but here you work with a topic instead of analyzing the movie. The last task in the workshop leads up to the students working with their own culture, trying to describe it. The challenge is to get the students to perceive the differences between cultures. By knowing their own culture makes it easier to see the difference between cultures. The way I would adopt some of the workshop tasks into my class of 8th graders would be to teach a topic about marriage and how we choose our spouse. First, the students have to read some text about weddings in Denmark. Then they have to research the wedding traditions in their own family and write an essay about it. With that background in mind, we move on to reading about English and Pakistan wedding traditions, and even if possible, interview native English or Pakistan individuals. The students then have to compare the traditions. Where are the similarities and where are the differences? Then we watch the movie East is East, and the students take notes on what the differences are between these two cultures. The last task is to write or make a movie about how weddings are in Denmark generally, and what criteria we have for choosing a partner in Denmark. For each topic I teach my students, they always make a mind map in MindMaster in SchoolTube. Here they write down facts, keywords, gambits, and sentences that they find useful for the topic. The last task of the workshop includes memorizing text. Psychology teacher Mark Smith writes, memorizing facts and lists can build the foundation for higher thinking and problem solving. Knowing facts by translation or by memorizing them enables us to put things into context. This makes it possible to give context to other situations from previous learned facts and this gives us access to a higher order of thinking skills. In literature, we often have to access facts through what's as you may call it, written between the lines. Teaching this to students will enable them to get a better understanding of other cultures and hereby broaden their intercultural competence into cultural awareness. That's it for today. Thanks for listening.